Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Crypto market today still holding at about $2 trillion, so we haven't really seen that much movement for the crypto market. We did see it up to about 2.1. So it is receding a bit. Bitcoin dominance still hovering at 41.4, so in and around that 42% level. You guys can see here, if I just scroll down, you can see the crypto market pretty much moving in tandem with Bitcoin. We got Bitcoin down about 4.29, Ethereum down 3.89%, Binance Coin down 3.44. So a lot of these coins down a little bit today. XRP down 5.93. So, the market just moving to the beat of Bitcoin, at least at the time of this recording. We can also see not too much. We're still trading on low volume here, which, I think is kind of precarious. I would like to see a little bit more volume trading because one big move could sway the market one way or the other. I mean, that could be good, that could be bad. Just taking a look at the Bitcoin chart, though, right now on the daily, you can see Bitcoin here trading at about $45,200. We did see a peak of about $48,000, but it is still hovering above what was looking like former resistance over here. We saw it over here, and really old support from back in February or March of 2021. And so now we're hovering around that zone here. Hopefully this forms new support, and the trend will continue moving to the upside from there. Bringing up the XRP chart real quick, you can see XRP, let me take that off. XRP really just kind of following the Bitcoin trend. XRP right now trading at 81.5 cents. You can see a bit of a downturn here, but that is just par for the course. As I've mentioned, Bitcoin is still ruling the market, and the Bitcoin dominance, although we are seeing it go down a little bit, we haven't really seen it break support and continue to plummet to the downside. And that's where we're going to get that altcoin rally, right? We do need to see Bitcoin really just kind of break away from alts, in that we have to see it collapse. We have to see that money move from Bitcoin into altcoins. And that's what we're really going to know. That's going to be the biggest signifier of an altcoin rally. Let me just throw the Fibonacci here on the Bitcoin chart from that last all-time high all the way down to this bottom here at around 33,000. So Bitcoin continuing to make its way up with some corrections along the way. But the 0.702, that is what we're eyeing, and we still have not seen, even from this, we have not seen altcoins really pop. We've gotten past the 0.236, and now we're hovering around the 0.382, but we haven't seen the altcoins pop, so that leaves me to wonder, is this really going to be the end of the Bitcoin bull run? Are altcoins going to rally from here to here, for example? Or is this just more movement in the crypto space? As I mentioned, altcoins are moving in tandem with Bitcoin at this time, so that is not actually a great signifier of an altcoin rally. It is a good signifier, though, that if Bitcoin does move higher, altcoins will move along with it, and that means we're not at the end of the cycle yet. Some XRP news here brought to us by Mike Manfield. This coming from Finextra and has to do with Ripple partner Cross River. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, and Mike Manfield here copied this from a Market Wired report from back in 2014, Cross River Bank is one of the first US-based banks that will use the Ripple protocol to offer its business and personal banking customers real-time international payments between the US and Western Europe. So that was reported back in 2014, the connection with Cross River Bank and Ripple. And now they've raised $620 million in a round co-led by Eldridge and Andreessen Horowitz, who was also an early Ripple VC funder. Funds and accounts advised by T. Rowe Price Investment Management, Whale Rock and Hanako Ventures joined the round, which values Cross River at more than $3 billion. Founded in 2008, Cross River provides dozens of firms, including Affirm, Coinbase, and Stripe, with embedded payments, cards, lending, and crypto offerings through its real-time proprietary API-based core. So more money here for Cross River, one of those very early Ripple partners from way back in 2014, utilizing the Ripple protocol for US-based banks to make transactions to Western Europe. And this must have been at the piloting stage, of course, all those years ago, 8 years ago now. So interesting news here coming from Cross River. Wanted to thank Mike for posting that. I also saw this guy's from Ant1 here on Twitter. Major Italian fashion brand OffWhite is now accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple as payments. Now, they mean XRP, of course. And so this is just the latest development with regards to their cryptocurrency as a payment solution. According to Vogue Business, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple, or XRP users, can now use their holdings to shop at OffWhite, a contemporary luxury fashion label, across its Paris, London's, and Milan stores. Vogue Business media outlets reported OffWhite customers can also pay for their favorite OffWhite products instantly using other cryptocurrencies like Binance Coin, Tether, and USDC. So as you guys can see here, they were already offering some cryptocurrency options. This is another important step in the growth of our brand that looks towards the future, including Web3 technologies, understanding the needs and desires of its ever-evolving customer base, etc. Down here it says, notably, there has continued to be a growing adoption of Ripple XRP payments across various brands in recent times as interest in the nascent asset class surges globally. So they're specifically mentioning Ripple and XRP here. And OffWhite, this brand, also makes a point to note this. They're well aware of the volatile nature of cryptocurrencies, which has the prospect of recording a massive decline in value, if not closely monitored. And to mitigate the risk, the Italian fashion label said it has adopted Lunu POS, a payment service capable of sourcing the best fiat to crypto exchange rate at the time of the purchase. So they have the Lunu point of sale in place here. And I don't know if you guys remember from just back last week how businesses can meet rising consumer demands for crypto. This coming from the Ripple's Insights blog. They wrote up a report on this, and in this report, they actually mentioned how Binance also just revealed plans for a new payments processor enabling users to make retail purchases using digital assets, as are Lunu, who enable customers to accept crypto payments. So I think we're going to see a lot more of this in the coming years. If people want to pay for items using cryptocurrency, they may want to utilize their XRP, but if the brand does not want to actually hold cryptocurrencies on their balance sheets, because as OffWhite says of their volatile nature, they're going to want to convert instantaneously, and so they will use these POS technologies like Lunu to get that rate, that real-time rate, and likely convert that cryptocurrency into fiat currency, boom, instantaneously. Just as a side note, I'm not saying Lunu is running on Ripple, but these types of payment services would benefit greatly from RippleNet, and I'm sure a lot of them are already using them. So that's interesting news. Wanted to thank Ant1 for posting that. I also saw this guy's coming out of Africa. Africa's Flutterwave, which is a Ripple partner, fund UK contactless payment startup Dept. So who's Dept? Dept helps businesses accept contactless payments on their Android devices by transforming Android phones into payment terminals that can accept tap and pay. The firm works with POS vendors, banks, and others, which integrate its technology into their merchant offerings. With the funding in place, Dept is now set to offer its first app directly to merchants in the UK and Europe. So another service turning your phone essentially into a bank account, and to the point where you can actually tap your card and your phone is able to register that a payment is being sent. This is just amazing, simply amazing technology here that is really going to democratize the state of payments worldwide. Flutterwave, again, a RippleNet-enabled company, and they are taking over Africa. It seems like, every week or every couple of weeks, we're hearing new news coming out of Africa, specifically with regards to RippleNet integration. Dept, just another brand that Flutterwave is now partnering with. And down here it says they pumped in some $3.4 million into Dept, the contactless payment platform. So Ripple partners getting very, very confident that they can deliver a premium solution to this type of problem. And again, case in point, Flutterwave doing just that. And this guy's from the Wrath of Kahneman International Federation of Accountants. They've noted the Ripple transaction protocol. Now, this article was back from May, but I think it's important to mention today. And, the rest of the video, I'm going to talk about why. So this is the International Federation of Accountants. And let's just get back to the Wrath of Kahneman point here. He screen grabs this from their document. Exploration of additional innovation solutions not yet widely adopted in supply chain, such as blockchain and related tools, including Ripple transaction protocol, are being explored by a few larger organizations to improve supply chain management through greater automation, transparency, and visibility. So they are specifically naming the Ripple transaction protocol for supply chain management specifically. Currently, the penetration of blockchain appears to be limited to a few use cases, particularly focusing on enabling provenance of products and materials. For example, ensuring full traceability over minerals and compliance accredited mining locations. Over time, it is expected that distributed blockchain technologies will demonstrate strong potential and in return enhance end-to-end supply chain visibility, flexibility, and speed while reducing costs and risks. So it's interesting, considering this is the Association for Accountants dealing with money, that ironically, they're not even talking about the Ripple transaction protocol with regards to cross-border transactions, for example. They're talking about supply chain management, which is another use case for the XRPL, of course. What I wanted to bring to your attention, though, was how this document was framed, again, just back from a few months ago. Value creation and sustainability. I don't know if you guys can see a common theme here. That is the number one of 6 of the pillars that are structuring this document. If I go down here, delivering on climate change, the role of the accountancy profession. So more on sustainability, climate change. Going down here, let's go number 3, procurement and supply chain operating models are changing the role of finance functions. This is where they're mentioning more efficient, secure, and likely more environmentally friendly solutions like the RippleNet transaction protocol, which is just mentioned in here, which I just talked to you guys about. Number 4, the virtual finance function, the new normal, post the beer flu pandemic. So also talking about how the world is changing and how this is changing the functions of this particular organization. People working remotely, for example. I will link this in the description if you guys are interested in reading the full thing. Gen Z and the future of accountancy. Contactless payments, okay? Getting away from those brick and mortar banks and doing everything remotely, doing everything electronically. Speaks to this idea of a more environmentally friendly, sustainable solution for the world we are living in. So this is, as I mentioned, the International Federation of Accountants. And so I found that interesting because, I think they know it. The powers that be are really trying to shift gears with regards to the financial system and where finance will be going moving forward. I also saw this from Anderzel. Chris is just letting you know what is coming. So recently I just did a video on Chris Larson and the bold statements he made regarding Bitcoin's code and how he thinks it needs to migrate towards a more environmentally friendly solution. And if you guys didn't catch that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Anderzel, though, just bringing this up, Chris is just letting you know what is coming. I'm sure he's fully aware of the climate discussions. My guess is that his wordings will be ignored by these BTC maxis, which will not be good for that asset's future. So Chris Larson, again, just here's a screen grab from just yesterday. So he's been talking about this on Twitter all week. The current path proof of work is on is unsustainable and will be met with a climate wall. That's fairly bold. This is the last thing I want. The crypto industry needs Bitcoin to continue to succeed. This industry is also one that embraces change. Why is acknowledging this fact so controversial? And the point that Anderzel was making here is just this highlighted in red or circled in red will be met with a climate wall. Something Chris Larson likely knows about, maybe because of his connections with the World Economic Forum. The fact that climate change is also a big talking point on their agenda. And if you guys didn't see yesterday afternoon's video, I will link that up here. Somebody calling out Chris Larson, actually a former Ripple employee, basically calling him out saying, yeah, Chris, you were at Davos in 2016. Don't pretend like we don't know. Okay, let me continue. The one here on Twitter also posted this. In a true reset scenario, the derivatives paper market will lose most of its value, in my opinion. JTB down here responding to this, not all notes, just those not backed by something physical. And the one responds, if you look at the size of the derivatives market, it is obvious. Most of it is paper. That is where most of the cleanup needs to take place. Guys, this is all fake value. And the one is catching on to this. That is where most of the cleanup needs to take place. It is mostly paper bets made on assets, not the value of the assets itself, the hidden bubble, and will be the first to go. And again, he just reiterates this is his opinion, which is why every now and then I do like to bring up this visualization of the world's money. I've shown this on my channel in the past, just kind of giving you guys a sense of world markets. Each square this size is worth $100 billion. And so you can see the silver market, the cryptocurrency market, we've got military spending, US budget deficit, and as you can see, the numbers keep going up and up. Coins and banknotes, so this is all physical money supply for the US, Euro area, other China, Japan, the Fed's balance sheet. Billionaires are worth this much. Remember, each square represents $100 billion. There's also the gold market. Okay, Fortune 500 companies, the stock market, money supply, global debt. And yeah, that's global debt subcategorized into households, governments, non-financial companies, the financial sector, global real estate market, right? Residential, commercial, and agricultural, global wealth worldwide. And the biggest here, the derivatives market, guys. Yes, I'm continuing to scroll down here. You can see the notional value, $1 quadrillion. That is the high estimate. Scrolling back up here. Gross market value, $11.6 trillion. So huge when it comes to the derivatives market, as per this last tweet here from the one. So is this bubble going to pop? I mean, We are already getting warning signs, and okay, let me get into this. Financial sanctions imposed on Russia over its invasion of Ukraine may result in reduced dominance of the US dollar. This is according to a high-ranking official at the IMF, brought to us by Michael at Val5Links. So just reading you guys some of this, Russia's decision to invade Ukraine has been met with waves of Western sanctions that have limited Moscow's access to its foreign currency reserves and the global financial market. According to Gita Gopath, First Duty Managing Director of the IMF, the unprecedented measures could gradually decrease the dominance of the US dollar. So the IMF is warning of this. Speaking to the Financial Times, the top IMF official also warned that the restrictions, including those on the Central Bank of Russia, could encourage the emergence of small currency blocks based on trade between groups of nations. Gopinath nevertheless predicted that the greenback would remain the world's major reserve currency, but didn't rule out a fragmentation at a smaller level. So here's what she said. We are already seeing that with some other countries renegotiating the currency in which they get paid for trade. So the Russian Federation has been trying to reduce its dependence on the US dollar for years. So they're talking about de-dollarization here, a little bit of the history, which I won't get into, but I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. Gopinath noted that the growing use of other currencies in global trade would lead to further diversification of the reserve assets held by central banks. Countries tend to accumulate reserves in the currencies in which they trade with the rest of the world. And so just going back to this here, this visualization, if you guys remember, if we go back to coins and banknotes, you can see, of course, the United States, number one there because the world has been trading with US dollars up until now. And so what is this going to mean? She continues by saying, and in which they borrow from the rest of the world. So you might see some slow moving trends towards other currencies playing a bigger role. The IMF officially pointed out that the dollar's share of international reserves has fallen by 10 percentage points to 60% in the past 2 decades. Around a quarter of the decline can be attributed to the rise of the Chinese yuan. Beijing has been trying to internationalize the renminbi, including the promotion of their digital version. So, so now the IMF is coming out and saying, look, Russian sanctions threaten to undermine US dollar dominance. This could be what we're in for. So now I got to bring your attention to this from Nathan C.J. Rothschild here on Twitter. Here we go. Breaking news from just a few hours ago. Russia suspends gas flows to Germany through the Yamal-Europe pipeline. Now we are seeing Russia weaponize the resources that they have, and they're going to start doing this, I think, more and more, refuse to trade with other countries if their demands are not met. So even if you just Google, and I just Googled this, India buys oil, I wanted to get to the Russia story. If you guys look down here, just the headings here from Bloomberg, Russia offers oil to India at big discount pre-war prices. India buys Russian oil, and Indonesia is now looking to also jump on board. If you scroll down here, just from March 23rd, China is quietly taking cheap Russian crude as India buys oil as well. So we are seeing the countries in the East, countries that generally have done business with Russia and continue to do business with Russia, countries that likely have good business relationships with Russia, say, yeah, give me some of that cheap oil. Come on, hook me up, Putin. We'll play by your rules, no problem, man. So this is going to cause more conflict, and of course it is also going to undermine US dollar dominance as the IMF projects. There was also this that I talked about the other day, and I did a video on it. Putin says unfriendly countries must buy Russian oil and gas in rubles, and here, I'll link that video up here if you guys didn't catch that full video. Here is the latest statement from Vladimir Putin, guys, from just yesterday. Another one posted by Nathaniel C.J. Rothschild, retweeting out Pepe Escobar's tweet here, a clear and transparent scheme. Open ruble accounts in Russian banks. If such payments are not made, we will consider this a default. A big move here from Russia. Let me play you guys this clip of Vladimir Putin explaining what he will do.
Today I signed a decree that establishes rules on selling Russian natural gas with the so-called unfriendly states. We suggest to the contractors from such countries a transparent and easy-to-understand system to buy Russian natural gas. They have to open a ruble account in Russian banks. These accounts will be used to pay for the gas that will be supplied starting from tomorrow, starting from April 1st of 2022. If such payments are not made, we will consider it as failing to perform the contract by the buyer, with all the consequences followed by this. No one is selling anything for free, so we are not going to be involved in charity as well. So
Whoops, just cut it off there. So the current contracts will be strong. Essentially, Vladimir Putin saying, you must open up Russian bank accounts, you must pay in rubles, and, this is going to start today, which is April 1st, 2022. No, it's not an April Fool's joke. He is telling the world, this is what you have to do. Nobody sells us anything for free, and we are not going to do charity work, he stated. That is, existing contracts will be stopped. This is a big move, and a very bold move by President Vladimir Putin of Russia. And so, if you guys didn't catch that video, I did talk about this tweet here by Neon Revolt, retweeted out by Flimflam. I will link this tweet thread in the description of this video, but if you guys didn't check out that video I did on Russia and gold, I do suggest you check it out. Just to reiterate real quickly, he points out that he doesn't think people realize what happened over the last few days. And he explains it, and in a nutshell, he says, Russian central bank pegged 1 gram of gold to 5,000 rubles, currently about $50 each. At the same time, Putin made it so that Russian oil and gas can only be purchased in rubles, meaning Putin basically just pegged Russian oil and gas to gold using paper rubles as a proxy. And so that's what he was discussing here. You have to open up Russian bank accounts, get a ruble account. This is going to happen beginning April 1st. He also mentioned last week, that he says unfriendly countries must buy Russian oil and gas in rubles. So is this an aggressive act? And does this all make more sense now? A few months ago, I pointed this out, and I thought it was a good time to bring it up yet again. This from TAG XRP, the United States Department of Homeland Security. And if you guys don't remember, this is what they said. It is more likely that in the near future, a currency-agnostic P2P system transfer mechanism like Ripple will be used to access US dollars instead of a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Ripple XRP is based on a consensus algorithm and is not controlled by a centralized institution or government. Users cannot invest in Ripple. Ripple also serves as a bridge currency, or rather XRP does, meaning it can convert currencies that otherwise are unable to transact together. Now, this graphic was created, I don't know if it was by Tag or someone else, but this was directly from this document here, December 31st, 2014, Risks and Threats of Cryptocurrencies, and I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. But essentially, the Department from Homeland Security outlines what Ripple does, what it's good for, and I think in the context of the video I did a few months ago, I wanted to mention that they said that it is not centralized by an institution or government, and also that they consider XRP a currency. I believe I was talking about it in the context of the lawsuit, where the SEC was claiming that XRP was not a security. But again, I thought I'd bring it up because in the context of, not the lawsuit this time, but in the context of who is stating this in their 2014 report, the Department for Homeland Security. Homeland Security, to secure the people. The United States Department of Homeland Security is the United States federal executive department responsible for public security. Yeah, keeping Americans safe. So why are they talking about Ripple and XRP unless they foresaw in 2014 that we could have a potential act of aggression from a foreign leader that would weaponize resources, perhaps putting the US dollar in jeopardy, essentially an act of war, although not in the traditional sense. So I'm wondering if the Department for Homeland Security knew something was going to happen down the road, and if they were outlining Ripple and XRP for that exact reason. Things that make you go, This is also coming on the heels of what has been coming out of the World Government Summit, the one World Government Summit, I like to call it, 2022. This was happening right now. I showed you guys a clip of Klaus Schwab's statement about supply chains being disrupted. And I found another clip here on Twitter from Utility, obviously. It blows my effing mind how few people are tuned in. They're distracted by stuff like actors slapping each other at the Oscars while the world is rapidly changing. Of the fraction of the population who are invested in crypto, most are chasing this week's meme coin. And he retweeted out Great Reset Info's tweet here from that same One World Government Summit 2022. Listen to this.
Are we ready for a new world order?
It's about what underpins a world order is always the financial system. I was very privileged. My father was an advisor to Nixon when they came off the gold standard in '71, and so I was brought up with a kind of inside view of how very important the financial structure is to absolutely everything else. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain.
So they said it, Dr. Pippa Malmgren from the One World Government Summit 2022 makes a bold statement. We are changing our financial system. It's going to run on blockchain, and we're already seeing inclinations that this is occurring as we speak, guys. That's probably why the Department for Homeland Security was warning us, and that Ripple and XRP will be used in this new financial system all the way back from 2014. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And guys, I'm so happy for all of you watching the videos. I do want to try to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I want to see if we can make it happen. So if you guys are finding that you're watching the videos, maybe you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And give a thumbs up to the videos if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.